Welcome everyone to We Fix Everything. Today I'm going to be showing you how to diagnose whether or not your light switch is good or bad and how to change it out safely, correctly the first time. Let's get started with what tools we need. All right, so first up we're going to need a baby flathead, also doubles as a mini Phillips, a Klein voltage tester. Incredibly useful tool. It's going to let us know where we're getting power, where we're not, and I will show you guys how to use this shortly. Last few tools we'll need are going to be either an impact with a Phillips on it or a screwdriver. Then we need to set a needle nose, pliers. We are definitely going to want to have some wire strippers. Obviously, you're going to want a new light switch in case this one is bad or you're suspecting it of being bad. A new light switch, always good to bring. So first things first, let's take off this plate. It's just a couple of baby flathead screws. And then the plate itself will just pop right off. Now when we're diagnosing a light switch, we want to make sure that it's passing the power from the posts. So first thing I'm going to do is turn on my tester, and I'm going to go to one of these posts, and down here it's not going off, but up here it is going off. So I definitely have power up here, and as soon as I flick this switch, I should get power on the bottom post. So this switch is working correctly, but that's why these tools are incredibly useful. You could think that you have a bad light or a bad fixture, and at the end of the day, it was just the switch not passing the power. Highly recommend to use this, and always check your switches if something connected to a switch isn't working. Check that switch first. So before we take this light switch out and replace it, we're going to want to de-energize it and verify that we no longer have power in here, because the last thing we want to do is get shocked. So let's go ahead, go to our breaker. We're going to identify the room that we are working in and go ahead and kill power to the entire room. All right, so now that the power is off to the entire room, we're going to go ahead and check to see that we don't have power on any of these posts. So we're good. Now we're going to take our Phillips and remove the old light switch. All right, so now that we've got this out, we can see we've got two wires here that are in the push connects instead of being wrapped around the post here. These push connects are not reliable. I don't recommend them. We want to get on our new switch these wires wrapped around the post. So we're going to do that, but the first thing we need to do is pull these out of the push connects. So I actually use my needle nose for this, and I just like to go ahead and use the body of the old switch to pry against. So we will pull back. There we go, one's out. We'll do the same thing on the other side. All right, now that those are released, I can take the top wire, put it over here, take the bottom wire, put it over here, and now let's remove our ground wire. This is going to be a Phillips. All I did was loosen up the wire, and now I can grab hold of this ground and pull it off. You notice it's in a hook fashion. We're going to do the same thing for these posts. We're going to hook them around clockwise so that when we tighten this down, it'll actually get wrapped up the way that it's supposed to be, and it won't get backed out at any point in time. So I'm going to take my strippers and lightly go ahead and get a cut going around this rubber. I do recommend straightening out the wire before we go prying on it. So let's straighten this wire out. There we go, nice and straight. Now we have a fresh section of wire to work with. Can't tell you how many times I've seen this happen, but the on needs to be when the switch is up, and the off needs to be when the switch is down. I can go into units to this day that are set up wrong, so make sure you set this up right. Our ground is no longer on the bottom with this new switch. Our ground is up top. That's going to be the first thing that we put in. It's going to be the ground wire. You can see this. There goes our little hook. Just slide this in, just like that. Righty-tighty. Don't need to go too crazy with it. Now that our ground wire is in, let's get our hot wires in here. So I'm going to create a bend in these wires. I'm going to show you what that bend looks like after I make it. Just like that. I'm just making little hooks. So this is what our hooks look like. Just little curves there so that when I go righty-tighty, it's going to tighten with the post. One of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten is to just go ahead and back this thing all the way out. I will align it with this curve, so I'm just going to put it in with the curve and then bring my switch up to it. I know it may be more tedious to run a wire around a post, but I can assure you that it is definitely worth it to run it around the post instead of doing the push connections. So I'll back this second post out, run it into this wire. Let's make sure to do it right the first time. So I'm just bending this wire down just a little bit so it's going to sit easier in there. Now that wire is just wrapped around the post, I can create a little back tension on it and tighten it down. Next step is going to be to re-energize the system and test your new switch. All right, so we've got power going back to the room. Obviously the lights are much brighter now. I'm gonna turn this so you can see exactly what I am doing. I'm going to take my tester to the top post. I've got power to the bottom post, no power, which it shouldn't have because we are in the off position. I'm gonna flick it up and I've got power. So off, on, off, on. So this switch is working. Let's go ahead and reinstall it. I'm gonna line up these screws here, here, and here with the holes in the inside of the plate. I'm gonna turn this so you can see them. Little holes in here in the inside of the box, and that is what I am going to line up these screws with to reinstall this switch. You don't have to be super gentle with the wires because we have securely fastened them to the posts instead of using the push connect. This is also a great time to either clean off your switch plate or install a new switch plate. So if you have some overspray or anything on here, you can clean it off, give it a wipe down. So we'll go ahead, put our switch plate on. I like to hand thread these in. Don't need to go crazy on the torque with these, just snug it down. You can create whatever alignment you want. If you want them to sit horizontally or you want them to sit vertically, you can do it however you like. And now we're done. Just make sure that we've got power going back to the room, test that light switch, make sure we're doing it right the first time. All right, everyone, I do hope this video has helped you in swapping out your old light switch and getting it done right the first time. If this video did, then please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. It can help other people find useful content. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.